Hi, are you a caregiver that is feeling overwhelmed and stressed out? Wait a minute, don't burn out. I'm going to share 5 practical tips with you today that have helped me, and I hope that they'll help you too. Hi, I'm Marcia. Welcome back to Markets of Sunshine, and this is the place that I have built for you to be able to learn nature therapy journaling. And all along the way, we're going to do some DIY craft projects, making greeting cards and journals. So let's get started with the first tip. Are you ready? Tip number 1 is don't turn your cell phone on first thing in the morning. I know that sounds a little bit odd, but research and studies have shown, for one thing, it is harmful to your health and the brain and the eyes to immediately look at that screen and the light and the eye brain adjusting to the pixels and all the little things that we don't even know are happening due to our use of these devices now. It's one thing when we sit across the room, usually we're at least hopefully 6 feet away from the television. And so that screen also has all these little pixels that the brain is processing that we don't even realize, but the brain recognizes that. That in itself adds stress burden to our brain. And if you're a caregiver, whether it's just taking care of yourself, as in my case, I'm a caregiver because I have to take care of myself because I have a chronic health condition. You may be that way too. Maybe you have a chronic health condition and you're also a caregiver taking care of a child or a spouse or a parent, whoever it may be. So I want to share with you why it's so important with these 5 steps. So the first thing is don't turn on your phone first thing in the morning. Allow yourself to get up, really relax, take in the sounds and the surroundings. Go to a window and look out at nature. Hopefully you can see trees or plants in your yard. If you live in an apartment or a condominium, I hope you have at least a house plant or some kind of nature that you can look at. That immediately is relaxing. So that is tip number 1. Do not turn your cell phone on first thing in the morning. And trust me, by doing just this little small thing, you're going to notice a big difference in your stress levels. So wait at least half an hour, if you can, after you've eaten. Okay, so this is my routine, and I don't live by my phone. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you up front right now. I hate cell phones. I hate the way that they have robbed children and families and relationships. Oh yeah, let me just send a quick little text message. Huh? And no more do we hardly ever communicate and hear the person's voice. I call my daughter and she calls us now because I'm like, I have to have time with my child, okay? I just, that's me. I'm old-fashioned. I want to hear the voice and just feel the love. I don't care how many heart emojis somebody sends you. It's not the same. Okay, so that's enough of that soapbox. Let's move on to tip number 2. Okay, tip number 2 is go for a walk at least 3 days a week. Now, here I'm not going to give you a time window, but at least if you can do 10 minutes, okay? I've had to incrementally train to get up to doing for more and more and more. 10 minutes was my tops. And then I've finally gotten to where I can do 15, and now I just try to go as long as I can, and then when my body starts sending me the signals of, we need to sit down now and rest, then I listen. And so, but if you don't have any reason that you need to limit yourself with your walk, then walk for as long as you can. And, whether it's on a street in your yard like I do, So I'm going to take you to my backyard and I'm going to show you where I walk. So come on, I'm going to take you on a little walk with me. Okay, so this is my backyard wildlife habitat that I have certified with the National Wildlife Federation because I love nature, I love animals, I love feeding the birds, and I love feeding the squirrels. So I'm going to show you where I walk and how wonderful and how many plants that I have, my staghorn fern, but this is the little path that I go on. So here we go, okay? So you're gonna walk with me and I'm gonna show you. This is going up a little hill here in my backyard, and I'm trying to hold the phone so that it won't shake and wobble. And I have to go slow, and I have to be careful and mindful of where I'm stepping, making sure there's no snakes because we have a snake issue. And everything looks good here. Don't look at my husband's junk. Okay, and then this is where I feed the squirrels and the birdies every day. So we have a bird bath there for them. We have this nice picnic table here. We have a platform here. We have this whole long platform here. And so I'm looking down on a little bit of an angle on the side of the hill. And then there's my bottle brush plant. And here's this little fence that we put in just to add some nice character to the backyard. Here's my lovely gazebo that I sit in. And if you saw my video the other day about real versus imitation nature therapy, that's where I was sitting. And then here's my little garden. This is my pollinator's garden. See that cute little flower there? That's my Mexican petunia. I finally remembered it. And then this is a hummingbird butterfly bush, but I don't remember what the name of it is. And then here's another one. We're going to mulch all of this, but I have to fertilize it first. And then that's my mango plant. And then we're going to walk back inside. So now you know that is where I walk in my backyard when I can't go to the park. And just walking that little bit because I've kind of elevated my excitement level here and energy level here for you guys. And so that was kind of making me a little bit out of breath. But I walk around, so I go up a little hill and then it starts to curve down. And then when I have to go on the other side by the shed on the outside of the bird feeder, the squirrel feeder area, it's kind of like on a little slant like this. So I have to be really careful walking through there. And then, you know, my husband's got all kinds of things piled up there, but anyway, that's just on the side note. Don't, shh, shh, shh. Okay, so now let's get into tip number 3. Now this one you're probably going to be saying, Marcia, you keep repeating this because it's very important. I would want you to get in nature for 30 minutes once a week. Optimal is 2 hours for doubling your T cells. You have to be in nature where there's trees. You can't have tons of houses and tons of cars, but where there's like a really nice little coach selection canopy grove of trees, that's the perfect place for you to be. For 30 minutes would be, you know, minimum amount of time, and then but 2 hours is our target goal. And you can break it up now, so you don't have to do 30 minutes or 2 hours all in one shot. So you can do it in 4 30 minutes and then get your 2 hours for the week. So that's been my goal. But the problem I'm running into now is because it gets dark at 5 o'clock. So then it's like, what are you gonna do? It's like, and then my husband doesn't get home from work until about 5 o'clock. So we're like, oh boy, this is really becoming an issue. So I said, all I'm going to do is walk around my backyard. I've got my little nature section right here, and then I can sit in my gazebo. It's so relaxing. I mean, I just love it sitting there. I listen to the wind blowing through the leaves of the trees and the little birdies tweeting and the squirrels chasing each other because they're so territorial. And so now let's get on with tip number 4. Okay, tip number 4 is I want you to get out your journals. Now, if you don't have a journal, feel free to hop over to my Etsy shop and pick one up, or anywhere else you want to get one from, or make one yourself here watching my DIY videos right here on my channel. That's what they're here for. So if you're not a DIY person, you want to pick one up, the link could be in the description box below. If you are a DIY person, then get your supplies gathered up, go through my playlists of journal making videos, find ones. I've got all different types of levels there for beginners with sewing and no sewing, and using a 3-ring binder. I mean, I make it so simple. You can just, it's like there's no reason not to if you're a DIY person, or if you want to become a DIY person. This is a perfect little project. You can do it with your kids, grandkids, have your friends over, just sit down, watch my video. You have all your supplies ready. You can pause it, as you go gather your little supplies, and then push the play button again, go back and watch the video again. And hey, now is a great time for me to ask you to please hit the like button on this video, because it helps me to get found in search. And if you are enjoying the energy and the information that I'm sharing here with you on my channel, please subscribe to my little creative community here, because I'd love to have you be a part of it. So now in this journal, I want you to do this one thing. At the end of the day, okay, put your little caregiver person, make sure they're, all taken care of, and just your time. This is your time now. This is this important time for you again. So you have that important time for you in the morning. Now you have an important time for you in the evening. And in your journal, I want you to write everything you did for the day. Okay? You can do it in an itemized list type of a form, but like if you're going to go just line by line by line, just make sure you put a slash mark or a comma so that you can, really see what you've done. And this way, now you can see at the end of the day, wow, look at everything I do every day. Look at what I get accomplished. And you can pat yourself on the back, because you deserve it. Being a caregiver, whether it's taking care of ourselves or when we're having to take care of someone else, we accomplish a lot every day. Okay, so that is so important for you to realize, because half of the time we beat ourselves up saying, oh, I don't feel like I got anything done. Do you ever say that? Do you ever hear yourself say that? Do you ever hear anybody else say that? That's not true. You'd have to be sitting on that couch all day long with somebody waiting on you in order for you to say that. You got to eat, so that's 3 meals a day, hopefully, that you're getting. Water, all these things, your beverages, other essentials. So anyway, maybe errands, if you drive. Now, let's move on to tip number 5. Oh, I forgot. Tip number 5 is deep breathing exercises. So we're going to do them together, and we're going to do 5, okay? And this is how I do them. There's something interesting about doing deep breathing. It's supposed to activate your autonomic nervous system and the vagus nerve. But you know what's something interesting? And I think that for me, it's probably because if you have any kind of a lung issue, and I don't need to enumerate what they all are, but you know what I'm talking about. I think that's what it is. When I do deep breathing, let's start with the 5. Let's do number 1 first. We're going to breathe in slow, and sometimes you can't even do that at first. So that shows you how stressed you are. If you can't even really get a good deep breath that first time of trying, and it feels like it's right up here, and you can barely go like 1, 2, that is a big indicator that you're stressed. You are overstressed. So now let's just take in that deep breath, breathe in. And for me, the exhale is longer than the inhale. When I'm inhaling at first, it takes me about 3 or 4 times before I can finally get that full lung deep feeling, and then getting down into the stomach, and then coming up kind of a feeling. So here we go. Again. Now, that tip is something that I learned from a friend of mine years ago, because there's trapped air that stays in there and it becomes stale. So after you've done the deep breathing 3 or 4 times, then after you've exhaled, then do just 3 or 4 little short little puffs like you saw me do. So let's try that again. And for me, the minute I start feeling lightheaded, I don't know if that's normal or not, but that's me. And I'm not an abnormal person by any shape of the imagination. You can ask any of my doctors. Okay, so when I start to feel lightheaded, then I just wait a few seconds and then I try it again. So I have personally never been able to get up to the 5 minutes. I don't know who in the tarnation can, but I certainly cannot. I think a minute is my tops, honestly. So don't push yourself. Don't feel like, oh my goodness, something's wrong with me. I got to run to the doctor. I can't even do 5 minutes of deep breathing. Just do, as many as you can that is comfortable for you. But the goal is to stop during the day when you're starting to feel like, oh my goodness, you get that rushy feeling. That's when your cortisol, adrenaline, and norepinephrine are kicking in, and you don't want that. So we want to keep our autonomic parasympathetic side of our nervous system going, which is the dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. And in order to get those to be working, we need to do deep breathing. So there are many tips of how to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. And if you want to Google that, and there's YouTube videos here, but my best recommendation would be to contact a natural doctor in your area. It could be homeopathic, holistic, naturopath, oriental medicine, acupuncture, chiropractor, all of which of the above that I have been to. I have recovered from an 18-year debilitating illness. And so I'm in a therapy right now for my nervous system. So we're resetting my nervous system. It got stuck in sympathetic mode for 18 years. And so, which creates a whole cascade of problems. And if you want to learn more about that, then you can join my mailing list and send me some messages. You can DM me on Instagram. This has been life-changing. A medical doctor recommended me to take the program. Absolutely fabulous. The best thing that I have done for my health in the last 5 years. So now we know now what the 5 tips are. I hope that you will incorporate one of these along the way before you leave. Please, I would like for you to watch this next video here, whichever way it is, because when I point one way, it always shows up the other way. So I'm going to just point both ways. So wherever the end card little video is, please watch that video next here on my channel. And I would love for you to leave me a comment. Let me know, did you learn something from this video? Will you try it? And I want you to know first and foremost that I'm not a medical doctor, and I'm not telling you anything that is going to be harmful for you. Everything I share here on my channel is safe. It's things that I do for myself. And all these things that I've shared with you, none of these things are harmful. Taking care of yourself, taking time for yourself, not turning your cell phone on in the morning is not harmful. And going for walks is not harmful. Of course, be mindful. Use common sense on where you walk. And going in nature is safe. And writing in a journal is safe. This is all good stuff. And if you notice, I'm always talking about, the positive things that you have happened in your life. No negativity. We're not going to be in the complaining zone, the poor pitiful me zone, the negativity zone. It's all about positive, happy thinking. Not that you're going to be happy and positive 24 hours a day, but what you're going to write and what I'm wanting you to think is we're going to shift to that positive, happy side. And I mean, I've been trying this and really working hard. I go on a website that is my faith, and there's always articles on there. There's a beautiful one right there now about anxiety. So of course, I read that. And so I have a huge resource available to me. I read the Bible every day. I pray multiple times a day. I have a beautiful congregation of friends I get on Zoom with. My husband goes to our congregation sometimes, but I can't go. So I have this amazing network and support group around me, but we still have to take care of ourselves. They're not here taking care of us. They've got their own life and their own self to take care of and their own situation. So we have to learn how to take care of ourselves. And we utilize all of these tools, these things that I just mentioned, but we need help and we need each other. And we need people who are in the same boat who can understand, because people who have never had chronic illness, they don't understand what we're talking about. They don't even understand. Okay. And even if they're stressed and you try to help them out, they don't listen because they're not at a place. You have to be in a place ready to help yourself. So I hope when you're watching this that you are in that place and you're ready to stop feeling overwhelmed, to stop feeling stressed, to not get burned out. And if you are burned out, use these tips to calm everything back down and to get that body and the autonomic nervous system balanced back out. Okay, and I'll just keep sharing tips with you like this here on my channel. The next video is going to be a fabulous DIY craft that will be coming next week. So I'll be sharing one video a week with you now. And it's a new craft that I just kind of absolutely love. Okay, and we can use this as an embellishment for making a greeting card or putting it on the front of a journal. Oh my word, it's going to be fabulous. You're going to love, love, love it. So I can't share it with you now. Okay, it may not be the next video. No, it's going to have to be the first week of December, because I'm having a tea party with my friends on November 26th over Zoom, and I am mailing all these little goodie packages, and this is going to be one of the little activities that we do. So I can't show you it next week, because then that would let the cat out of the bag, because I know some of you are my friends that are watching that are going to be at the tea party. So excited. And so you have to wait till the first week of December. So next week I will have some other DIY thing, and I'm always looking for something that I've never done before and something that we could use in our journals that would be, you know, something wonderful and happy and to do. Now, I only have 2 of the fall junk journal DIY kits left in my Etsy shop, but I do have plenty of the house DIY journal kits, and this is the one that has the little 3 rings, the rings here, and all the instructions. But I have a video here on my channel of how to make it. So if you don't have a journal and you want to make one, you can make this cute little house journal. Isn't it adorable? So anyway, thank you very much for being here with me today. Now you can go and watch the next video, and I would love to have you part of our creative community. I have something wonderful coming in December, Sunshine Makers Club. You don't want to miss being a part of that. It's a sisterhood community, and you join. There will be a membership fee, but all of that will be coming to you if you join my mailing list, and you'll find the link in the description for that below too. Thank you again. Bye-bye.